You wake up to the cold. It is a cold that seeps into your bones. It bites deeper than any winter you have ever known. Your teeth chatter inside your helmet. The vibration is the only movement here, the only proof that you are still alive. You try to draw a breath. Your lungs ache with the effort. The air from your suit's emergency tank is thin and icy. The silence is the second thing you notice. It is an absolute perfect lack of sound. No hum of the life support systems, no gentle thrum of the grav plates, no distant whisper of the recycling units. Your ship, the Odyssey, is a tomb. The quiet is so profound, it feels like a pressure against your eardrums, a heavy blanket smothering the universe. You force your eyes open. The emergency lights on your suit's helmet cast a pale glow. They reveal the familiar lines of your cockpit. But everything is dark. Every screen is black. Every console is dead. A layer of frost coats the instrument panels. Your own breath fogs the inside of your visor. You are a ghost haunting your own command chair. You push yourself up. Your muscles protest, stiff and sore from the cryo-sleep, or from the cold. You are not sure how long you were out. The ship's chronometer is as dead as everything else. You stumble toward the main console. Your magnetic boots barely cling to the floor plating. The ship's internal power is completely gone. That should be impossible. The Odyssey had 3 redundant power cores. It had backup generators. It had solar sails for last resort emergencies. For every system to fail, all at once, is unthinkable. It defies every protocol. It breaks every law of engineering you ever learned. Yet here you are, floating in a metal coffin, a testament to the impossible. You place a gloved hand on the main screen. It is colder than stone. You try to reboot the system manually. You key in the emergency override codes. Your fingers are clumsy in the thick gloves. The console does not respond. There is no flicker of light, no whisper of power returning. There is only you, and the crushing, silent dark. Your heart pounds a frantic rhythm in your chest. Panic is a luxury you cannot afford. You are a pilot of the Explorer course. You have trained for this, sort of. They train you for engine failure. They train you for pirate attacks. They do not train you for waking up in a dead ship, a ship that feels like it has been dead for 1,000 years. You turn away from the silent console. Your gaze falls upon the forward viewport. It is a massive sheet of armored crystal. It shows you the endless black of deep space. But something is wrong. The stars are not right. They are not the familiar constellations of your assigned sector. They are not stars at all. You drift closer, your boots making soft, clanking sounds. This is the only noise in your world. The view outside is breathtaking, and it is terrifying. Space itself is broken. It is fractured into countless pieces, like a pane of glass shattered by a titan's hammer. You see a sliver of a familiar nebula, but it is cut off. Its edge is a perfect, straight line of nothingness. Next to it floats a triangle of pure, shimmering light. Inside, galaxies you have never seen spin and fast forward. Another shard shows a vision of a bloated red sun. It is so close you feel you could reach out and touch it. Yet your ship's proximity alarms remain silent. They have no power to scream their warnings. Your vessel drifts through this maze of broken realities. It is a silent ghost in a gallery of cosmic horrors. You are navigating a minefield of physics. One shard glows with a sickly green energy. Another reflects your own ship back at you, but it is twisted, wrecked. Its hull is peeled open like a fruit. You quickly look away from that one. You feel a profound sense of vertigo. Not from motion, but from the sheer wrongness of it all. This is the shattered sector, a place spoken of only in hushed whispers, a region of space that cartographers mark with a skull. No ship has ever returned from here. They simply vanish, lost in the cracks of the universe. Your ship was on a simple survey mission, a routine jump a few star systems over. How did you end up here? The last thing you remember is the jump drive activating. A flash of blue light. Then, nothing. Only this cold, silent awakening. The ship's logs are dead. The navigation computer is a brick. The answers are lost, swallowed by whatever event brought you to this place. You press your helmet against the cold viewport. You watch the shards of reality drift by. Each one is a window into another place, or another time. You see a desert world with two suns, a swirling vortex of impossible colors, a patch of space so dark it seems to drink the light. It is a museum of what was, and what could be. Your ship's warranty probably did not cover this. The sheer scale of it is overwhelming. You are a tiny speck of dust, lost in the ruins of creation itself. Hope feels like a distant memory, a foolish dream from another lifetime. Survival here seems not just unlikely, it seems mathematically absurd. You have no power, no navigation, no way to call for help. You are utterly, completely alone. But then, you see it. A flicker on a small secondary console across the bridge. A single tiny light blinks on, and then off, and then on again. It is a weak, anemic pulse of life in the morgue of your ship. It is so faint you almost think you imagined it. A trick of the eye, a phantom caused by your own desperate mind. You push off the viewport, drifting slowly across the cockpit. Your boots connect with the floor near the auxiliary comms panel. The light blinks again, a soft blue glow. It is real. It is a single, stubborn spark refusing to die. The panel is tied to a small, independent power cell, one designed for black box emergencies. It has just enough power for one thing: receiving. The console's tiny screen is barely active. It shows a simple waveform, a repeating pattern. Someone is broadcasting. Out here, in the middle of nowhere. It is a ghost in the static. A voice calling out from the void. The signal is weak, degraded, corrupted by the strange physics of this place. But it is there. You lean closer. Your breath fogs your visor as you study the pattern. It is not a human signal. The structure is wrong. The frequency is bizarre. It uses a mathematical base that humans abandoned centuries ago. This signal is old. Very old. It is a relic, an echo from a civilization long gone. You toggle the few controls that still function. You try to filter the noise. The static hisses and pops. The blue light on the console flickers erratically. For a moment, the signal strengthens. You can almost hear something beneath the noise. Not a voice, more like a sequence of tones. A musical phrase repeated over and over. A lament. It is a distress call. You are sure of it. There is a universal constant to desperation, a mathematical signature of a cry for help. And this signal screams it. It is the last gasp of a dying soul, pleading into the darkness, hoping someone, anyone, will hear. This changes things. You are no longer entirely alone. But your new companion is a ghost. A very, very old ghost. And you realize something else. The power for this console will not last forever. The emergency cell is already fading. That blinking blue light is a countdown. If you want to understand this message, if you want to find its source, you need more power. You need to resurrect your ship, even if it is just a small piece of it. A new kind of resolve hardens within you. The crushing despair recedes. It is replaced by a cold, sharp focus. You are an engineer. You are a survivor. This ship is your toolbox. It is your shelter. And now you are going to take it apart. Piece by painful piece, you will cannibalize your own hope. All for the chance to answer a ghost's call. Your mission begins in the engineering bay. It is even colder back here. Ice crystals hang in the air like dust motes. Your suit's light cuts a narrow path through the dry to the darkness. It illuminates silent, monolithic engines, towering conduits, and rows upon rows of access panels. This was the heart of the Odyssey. Now it is a frozen scrapyard. You need power. The main cores are dead, fused into solid blocks of inert metal. But the ship is a web of wiring, a circulatory system of energy. You just need to find a vein that still has a little blood in it. You start with the life support systems. They have their own tertiary battery backups, small chemical batteries meant to last for a few hours. You find the panel behind a coolant tank. It is frozen shut. You grab a pry bar from an emergency toolkit. The screech of metal on metal is a violation of the silence. It is a raw, ugly sound. But it is a sound you are making, a sound of action, a sound of defiance. The panel finally gives way with a loud groan. Inside you see them. 3 small rectangular power cells. Their charge indicators are dark, but they are not empty. You know their design. They can be manually stimulated, forced to give up their last dregs of energy. It is a risky procedure, one that could cause them to rupture. But you have no other choice. You begin the delicate work. You reroute the primary output. You bypass the safety regulators. Every wire you cut feels like a betrayal. You are mutilating your own ship, destroying the systems meant to keep you alive. All for a sliver of power, all for a ghost's message. It feels like a special kind of madness. One by one, you drain the cells. You channel their fading energy into a single, heavy-duty conduit. You watch the power meter on your diagnostic tool. The needle slowly crawls from 0, 1%, 2%. It is a pathetic amount of power, barely enough to run a coffee maker. But to you, it is everything. Your coffee maker could wait. This was a little more important. You now have a choice. Where do you send this precious energy? The main comms array? The navigation sensors? A single maneuvering thruster? Each choice is a gamble. Each path could lead to salvation, or to a quicker death. You think of the blinking blue light, the ancient distress call. That is your only lead, your only clue in this cosmic mystery. You decide to power the short-range sensors and the primary translation matrix. If you can find the source of that signal, maybe you can find answers. Maybe you can find technology to help you. You run a new line from engineering to the bridge. A thick, insulated cable that you salvaged from the ship's galley. The irony is not lost on you. The toaster oven wiring is now your lifeline. Back in the cockpit, you connect the cable. You feed the trickle of power into the dead consoles. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a low hum fills the air. It is a beautiful sound, the sweetest music you have ever heard. Screens begin to flicker to life. Not all of them, but enough. The main sensor display glows with a faint green grid. The translation computer boots up with a cascade of alien symbols. You have done it. You have performed surgery on a ghost. You have given your ship a faint, shallow breath. Now, it is time to see what is out there. You direct all power to the sensor sweep. A thin green line begins to crawl across the screen. It is searching, listening, reaching out into the shattered void. The seconds stretch into minutes. The green line finds nothing but echoes. phantoms created by the broken physics of the sector. Your heart sinks. Did you make the wrong choice? Did you waste your one shot on a dead end? But then, the line stutters. It locks onto something, a single, solid return. It is close, surprisingly close. Only a few thousand kilometers away, it is the source of the distress call. But the sensor reading is strange. The object is massive, far larger than any human ship, and its energy signature is 0. It is cold, dead, just like your own vessel. It is another derelict, another piece of cosmic driftwood. You divert a tiny fraction of power to the optical sensors. You need to see this thing. The main viewport is still just a window, but the telescopic camera might work. The image on the screen is grainy, full of static, but it slowly resolves. And what you see makes your blood run cold. It is not one ship. It is a fleet, dozens of them, hanging silently in the void. They are warships. Their design is unlike anything you have ever seen. They are not built of metal plates and girders. They look almost organic, like the carapaces of colossal insects or the bones of ancient sea monsters. Their hulls are a deep, iridescent black. They seem to swallow the light. They float in a loose formation, as if they were struck down in the middle of a maneuver. There are no signs of battle damage, no debris fields, no flickering lights. They are perfect, pristine, and utterly lifeless. They are a star-born graveyard, a fleet of silent, gargantuan monuments, a testament to some unspeakable event. You are drifting right toward them, a tiny, insignificant speck next to these sleeping giants. You feel like a mouse creeping into a lion's den. Even a dead lion is still a lion. You half expect them to power up, to turn their strange, alien weapons upon you. But they remain still, silent watchers in the dark. This is where the signal is coming from. One of these colossal warships is broadcasting that ancient cry for help. It has been broadcasting for millennia, a lonely ghost in a fleet of corpses. You must get closer. You have to understand what happened here. You have to unlock the secrets of this place. With your remaining power, you focus on the translation matrix. You feed it the signal you recorded. The computer whirs. Its fans spin with a desperate effort. Alien symbols flash across the screen. The software cross-references the pattern with every known linguistic database. It finds nothing. The language is too old, too alien, but the software does not give up. It begins a brute force analysis. It looks for mathematical constants, universal patterns, the building blocks of any logical language. It is a slow, agonizing process. You can feel the power draining from your makeshift system. The lights on the console begin to dim. The hum of the machinery fades. You are running out of time. You watch the screen, hoping for a breakthrough. A single word, a fragment of meaning. Then, it happens. The computer finds a match, a core concept, a recurring ideogram. The screen displays a single translated word, devour. The system finds another word and another. Slowly, painfully, a message begins to take shape. It is not a story. It is a warning, a final, terrified testament. The ancient words paint a chilling picture. They speak of an enemy that is not an army, an enemy that does not conquer, it consumes. The message names them, a title that the translation software can only approximate. It sounds like a whisper from a forgotten age. The Elder Ones. The text describes them not as ships, but as shadows that fall across stars. They are described as a hunger, a void that walks, a silence that spreads. According to the ancient message, they do not use weapons. They simply arrive. And when they do, reality itself unravels. Stars wither and die. Planets crumble into dust. The very fabric of space is torn apart. The message speaks of a great war, a desperate last stand, 1,000 civilizations fighting against the encroaching darkness. They all failed. This fleet, this graveyard of giants, was part of that war. They were not defeated in battle. They were erased, caught in the wave of annihilation that followed the Elder Ones. The message says, the Devourers are patient. They are eternal. They slumber in the dark between galaxies. But they always awaken, and they are always hungry. The message ends with a plea, a call for any survivors to flee, to hide, to never, ever broadcast their position. It warns that any complex energy signature is like a beacon, a dinner bell for the sleeping horrors of the void. And you just brought your ship back online. You just sent out a sensor pulse. You just rang that bell. A cold dread washes over you, a dread far deeper than the simple fear of being lost. You are not just stranded. You are trespassing in a place of unimaginable death. You are a child who has wandered into a dragon's hoard. And you may have just woken the dragon. The shattered space around you is not a natural phenomenon. It is a scar, a wound left behind by the devourers of stars. So much for a quiet retirement plan. You have to get away. Now, but your ship is a corpse. You have no propulsion, no way to run, no way to hide. The power you cobbled together is almost gone. The screens are already flickering. The friendly hum of the machines is fading back into that oppressive silence. You are trapped, a sitting duck in a cosmic shooting gallery. Just as the last of the power dies, a new alert flashes on the sensor screen. It is a proximity warning. A new object has just entered the local area. It is small, much smaller than the ghost ships, and it is moving. Slowly, erratically, like a wounded animal. It is on a direct intercept course with your vessel. The screen goes black before you can get a better reading. The power is completely gone. You are blind again, but you are no longer alone. Something else is out here. Something that is alive. Is it a friend? Or is it the first sign that the Elder Ones have heard your call? You float in the darkness of your cockpit, waiting, listening to the frantic beat of your own heart. The silence is back. But this time, it feels different. This time, it feels like it is watching you. You drift toward the main viewport. Your magnetic boots clank with a grim finality. Outside, the silent fleet of alien warships hangs against the backdrop of shattered realities. You scan the darkness, searching for the new arrival. For a long time, you see nothing. Then, a glint of light. A small shape is moving through the boneyard of ships. It is a vessel, but it is like none you have seen before. It is tiny compared to the gargantuan dreadnoughts. Its hull is a patchwork of different alloys. Some parts gleam with a metallic sheen. Others are dull and crystalline. It is clearly damaged. One side is scorched black, a thin trail of frozen gas vents from a rupture in its hull. It is limping, bleeding into the void. The ship is cautiously approaching your own. It moves with a strange, stuttering motion, not the smooth glide of a healthy engine, but the pained lurch of a failing one. It is a survivor, just like you, a fellow castaway in this impossible place. You watch as it draws closer. It is small enough that it could almost dock with your ship's main airlock. You feel a surge of something you thought was long dead. Hope. It is a fragile, tentative feeling. But it is there. This is not a hunter. This is not one of the Elders Ones. This is someone else who is trapped. Someone else who is fighting to survive. Perhaps you can help each other. Perhaps together you can find a way out of this nightmare. The alien vessel comes to a stop a few hundred meters from your viewport. It hangs there, silent and waiting. It is a standoff, a moment of mutual assessment. Two survivors in the dark, measuring each other up, wondering if the other is a threat or a savior. You have no way to communicate. Your comms are dead. Your external lights are dark. You are a black shape against the stars. You have to do something. You have to show that you are not hostile. You think for a moment. Then you remember the emergency toolkit. It contains a high-intensity laser cutter. Its battery is self-contained. You grab it. You float back to the viewport. You point the cutter at a dark section of space away from the alien ship, and you pull the trigger. A brilliant beam of red light shoots out from your ship. It cuts a sharp, clean line in the darkness. You hold it for 3 seconds, then you stop. You wait 1 second. Then you pulse the beam 3 more times. Short, quick bursts. Dot, dot, dot. Then 3 more long beams. Dash, dash, dash. And finally, 3 more short bursts. Dot, dot, dot. It is the oldest distress signal in human history. SOS. It is a universal plea, a handshake offered across the void. You wait. The silence stretches. Did they understand? Is their species familiar with such basic patterns? The small, wounded ship remains motionless. For a terrible moment, you think it was the wrong move, a sign of aggression. Then, a light on the alien vessel flashes in response. It is a soft, amber glow. It flashes once. Then it pauses. And then it flashes again. And again. It is a slow, steady pulse. A heartbeat. An answer. The alien ship begins to move again. It closes the remaining distance with the same pained, careful motion. It is coming to you. It is accepting your handshake. A wave of relief washes over you. So powerful it almost makes you dizzy. You are not alone. You have an ally. The odds of survival have just gone from impossible to merely catastrophic. Which, all things considered, is a pretty good improvement. Your new partner is a marvel of desperation. As its ship docks with yours, you see the craftsmanship up close. Its docking collar is a jury-rigged mess of alloys and ceramics. It connects to your airlock with a hiss of escaping gas. Then, a series of heavy, metallic clunks echo through your hull. You have made contact. Now comes the hard part. The first meeting. You stand by the inner airlock door. Your hand rests on the emergency release. Your suit is sealed. Your heart is pounding. What will you find on the other side? A being of tentacles and claws? A creature of pure energy? The door hisses open. Standing in the connecting tunnel is a single figure. It is tall and slender, encased in a form-fitting suit of a dark, matte material. The suit has no obvious visor. The head is a smooth, teardrop shape. You cannot see its face, but you can feel its gaze. You can sense its weariness, its desperation. It mirrors your own. The figure raises one of its 3-fingered hands. It holds it open. A universal sign of peace. You raise your own gloved hand in return. For a long moment, you both just stand there. 2 castaways. 2 survivors of an unknown apocalypse, united by a shared silence. Your new ally is called Xylar. Or at least, that is what your suit's limited translation software can make of its language. The alien communicates through a series of complex gestures and soft, chiming tones. It is a slow and frustrating process. But you begin to understand each other. Xylar is the last of its crew. Its ship, the Weaver, was also caught in the event that shattered this sector. Xylar is a brilliant engineer. Its mind works in ways you can barely comprehend. It sees energy not as a current, but as a fluid. It sees mechanics not as gears and pistons, but as a form of origami, folding and unfolding physical laws. Together, you survey your two crippled ships. The Odyssey is a fortress of robust, powerful systems, all dead. The Weaver is a delicate web of exotic technologies, all broken. But where you see wreckage, Xylar sees opportunity. It points to your main fusion core. You see a useless lump of metal. Xylar sees a source of raw, stable isotopes. It gestures to its own ship's engine, a crystalline matrix that pulses with a faint, residual light. You see a shattered crystal. Xylar sees a dimensional resonator, an engine that does not push through space, but folds it. An idea begins to form between you. A desperate, insane, beautiful idea. You cannot repair your ships, but you can combine them. You can merge human technology with Xylar's alien systems. You can take the brute force power of your fusion core, and you can focus it through the delicate precision of its dimensional drive. You can build something new, something that should not exist. The work is grueling. You spend days, or what feels like days, in the cold vacuum between the two ships. You are a two-person salvage crew, a two-person engineering team. You strip the Odyssey down to its bones. You pull out kilometers of power conduits. You carefully extract the magnetic containment rings from the fusion core. Each piece is a monument to human ingenuity. Solid, heavy, reliable. Xylar, meanwhile, dismantles its own engine. It handles the glowing crystals with a surgeon's care. It rearranges the delicate filaments of its energy matrix. Its tools are elegant wands of light and sound. They manipulate matter on a molecular level. While you work with wrenches and plasma cutters, Xylar works with harmonic frequencies. It is like watching a blacksmith work alongside a watchmaker. You learn to communicate without words. A nod of the head, a point of the finger, a shared understanding of the impossible task before you. You are building an engine that has no name, no blueprint. It is a hybrid, a monster. You are bolting a fusion reactor to a reality-warping drive. It is the most reckless piece of engineering in history. Your instructors at the academy would have a heart attack. Slowly, the impossible engine takes shape. It is a strange, ugly beast, a fusion of human grit and alien grace. The heavy, gray metal of your reactor is wrapped in the glowing, crystalline lattice of the Weaver. It sits in the void between your two ships, a bridge of hope connecting two disparate worlds. All that is left is to turn it on. This is the moment of truth. The final gamble. If your calculations are wrong, if your fusion of technologies is unstable, it will not just fail. It will detonate. It will create a small black hole, or a tear in reality, that will swallow you both. You and Xylar retreat to your respective cockpits. You are linked by a single, newly powered communication line. For the first time, you hear Xylar's true voice. It is a soft, melodic chime that your computer translates into clipped, formal English. Power alignment is stable, it says. The resonance matrix is synchronized. You look at your own console. The salvaged screens glow with data. Containment field is at 100%, you reply. Your voice is hoarse, ready to initiate the startup sequence. There is a pause. It has been an honor to build with you, human, Xylar says. May the currents of creation guide us. You smile grimly. You too, Xylar. Let's light this candle. You key in the final command. The engine between your ships begins to hum, a low, resonant frequency that you feel in your teeth. A soft blue light emanates from the crystal matrix. The light grows brighter. The hum deepens into a powerful thrum. The fusion core ignites. It feeds a torrent of raw energy into the alien drive. The blue light intensifies. It envelops both ships in a shimmering bubble of energy. Your consoles light up. Power surges through your resurrected vessel. You have done it. You have built an impossible engine. But your celebration is short-lived. The engine's first pulse of energy does not go unnoticed. On your newly powered long-range sensors, something appears. A new contact. It was not there a second ago. It simply materialized from the darkness. It is vast. So large it dwarfs even the warships in the star-born graveyard. It is a shape of pure, geometric blackness. A hole in the universe. What is that? You whisper into the comm. Zaylar's voice is strained, tense. A presence. Ancient. It was dormant, our engine. Our engine woke it up. The black shape begins to move. It turns its immense silent gaze toward you. It does not have engines. It does not have thrusters. It simply moves, gliding through the shattered space with an unnatural grace. This is not a ship. It is a creature, a living being of void and shadow. It is a hunter, and you have just announced your presence. You have just stepped into its territory. The warning from the ancient message echoes in your mind. A dinner bell. You have woken one of the guardians left behind by the Elder Ones. Or perhaps you have woken something worse.